Thank you.
So perhaps you can answer some of the questions that we were asking before. For instance, we have two major characters who were heaven and hell and had a lot of different powers, and for various reasons now they have certain powers either taken away from them or they're restricted. So can you kind of talk a little bit about the impact of that in the season, both in terms of Sam and Dean? Jensen was saying that, you know, one of the things with Cass is whenever they could get them out of a bind, it was literally like a Deus Ex Machina situation where they're coming themselves.
You know, that always presented interesting writing challenges for us because you didn't want to feel like, you know, Cass was Mighty Mouse who's come to save the day. So we had to be really sort of judicious how we used Cass, or why Cass wasn't available to help them, or if Cass, you know, at some point didn't have a mindset to help them. This year is different. Cass is, at least as we kick the season off, powerless. And his story throughout the first, you know, probably up till the mid-season break is first dealing with being human. Things as Misha was saying, you know, having to eat, having to go to the bathroom, all that stuff. As the season progresses and he becomes a little more comfortable in that, his challenge down the line will be as this Angel War starts to develop, do I want to sit on the sidelines as a human or do I get back in the fight? If I get back in the fight, how do I regain my powers? So that's pretty much, you know, the Cass arc for a while, and we're kind of looking forward to doing it.
Also with Crowley, but I just to follow up on Cass, is there any part of that alternative universe Cass or the Cass at the end of the world that we saw that's going to pop up in this version of Cass?
No, not really, no. This is a grounded Cass, and a Cass has a big decision to try to make. Crowley, you know, the shorthanded with Crowley, and the way we talked about it in the writer's room is, for a time, Crowley is our Hannibal Lecter. We have him locked up, as you saw in the clip. But he is still Crowley, and he manipulates, and there's a kind of a tug there. But Crowley's motivation is he wants to get out of Sam and Dean's clutches and reestablish his position as the king of hell.
How much did that attempt to cure Crowley, is that going to come into play?
Yeah.
You have that taste of morality and consciousness.
Well, certainly Sam is aware of it. Sam saw it. He tells Crowley he saw it. Crowley denies he has any leftover feelings about that, but probably does.
Go ahead.
I was really excited to hear that you have big plans for Charlie next season. Is there anything you sort of tease about how we might be seeing her? And also, is this just like a one-off episode, or might we be seeing Charlie in, like, I know Felicia's really busy, but might we see her in maybe a multi-episode arc?
Well, we won't see her for two in a row. I mean, you know, the Charlie stories are sort of separate and apart. I mean, the one that she's doing for us, number 4, has certain mythological elements, but Charlie's not really part of the mythology. She's just a great story springboard for us and a great character, and we love her, and she's a real shot in the arm for us. We'll use her as much as we can. She loves doing the show. We love having her, but you know, I don't know that she'll ever be basic to the mythology because I just don't, you know, she's a busy girl.
Since you're one of the few left from season 1.
That's right, year 1, season 1, yeah.
How challenging now going into these new seasons, we saw a bit of it in season 8, maintaining the continuity, especially when you've got a fan base that gets vocal when something goes wrong.
Years ago, there was a director who said he makes film like he's cooking dinner for friends. He hopes they like it, but if they don't, he's just fully prepared to enjoy it himself. We try to tell the best stories we can. We try to come up with stuff that gets us excited, and we hope that the fans come along. I don't think anybody anticipated that when we started the show that we'd be looking at a season 9. I'm actually the only one left from the beginning in terms of the writing staff and all that. But the fact that we do manage to keep it fresh is why I keep coming back. If I felt we were getting cookie cutter or retreading stuff, I'd say, well, then they need somebody else to help because I'm burned out. But, I think we've done a really terrific job of keeping it fresh. There's one thing about doing a show this long with these same characters is that, when you're starting a show, you don't have any really character history. You're kind of creating it out of whole cloth and inventing it as it goes along. As you go through the years, they have a history that you bring forward. It's something we always pull back, go back to and develop. So in terms of the boys, in many ways it makes it easier to write them because they have such a rich history that we've seen. And the guys are great, and they are they're game for anything. I mean, as Jensen said, we consulted them once, and that was on the French Mistake. We rarely send up one of these off-the-wall things that we get any pushback from them. They just go, "We trust you guys. Let's go for it." So it's a great working relationship.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
All right.